Joe Roeder, take 18, Red's Fly Shop, Euro Nymphing Redneck. Curtis and I are out here building some leaders, and we want to share with you just kind of our general philosophy on leaders, okay? So I'm going to show you the leader system that we like, and then I'll build one in kind of a time lapse, and then I'll show you a couple of other options. So we build these at Red's. You can order them online at Red's Fly Shop, but you could also build them yourself, and you're going to save a few bucks because we're going to charge you a few bucks for putting all this together. But maybe as you're getting started and you're going to get yourself a Euro nymphing rod and give it a try, buying one as a model is a good idea. And then I'll show you some ways to kind of super pimp out your Euro nymphing leader. We start with a 7.5 foot 0x leader. The idea with this system is that the loop to loop is never going to have to go through your guides. It's going to be a shorter leader than a lot of other people fish. Next is going to come your sighter. We prefer Dacron Backing. I like how it gets wet and it's a little bit heavy and seems to stabilize the drift, especially if there's wind. It seems to eliminate wind sag. I've tried bright colored mono. I prefer the backing, and what this is basically my variable indicator. So it can be way out of the water sometimes, and then I like to kind of use it as a dipstick, and so sometimes I might have my sighter in the water. Curtis said that's a horrible no-no, and maybe it is. He says I'm missing dozens of fish doing that. Maybe not. I don't know, once in a while I catch one like that, going a little deeper. So think of this a little bit as a dipstick. It's also going to fish at various angles when you're pulling your fly down through a shallow run. Get Devin Olson's DVD. I think it's Modern Nymphing. Fantastic DVD. We sell that at Red's too. Funny how that works. We sell all this. We sell everything at Red's. But get that DVD. I've watched it several times. It's very informative when you're learning how to do this. Anyway, that's your sighter. Next is going to be a tippet ring that's tied on the bottom. The tippet ring makes for a quick connect. That's the steelhead size Rio Tippet Ring. I like the little bit bigger ones. And that's going to be tied on the end. So you could go order all these parts and build this yourself. It's pretty easy to do. So let me go ahead and build one out and show you what it looks like. Okay, so it took me a few minutes to tie that up, but again, I got my 7.5 foot 0x leader tapering down. Now the knot I used to connect this right here, I used a double Uni Knot, it works fine. It's a little bit easier to tie. Curtis uses an Albright knot that you kind of double wrap back over. We should probably do that one on video too and show you that. But anyway, I have a nice clean connection here from my butt section to my sighter. I've got about 12 inches of sighter right there. Anywhere from 12 to 18 inches is fine. It doesn't make a real big difference. And then at the end, I've got my Rio Tippet Ring steelhead size tied on right there. So that's just a starter leader. That'll get you going. Like I said, that's basically your non-buoyant strike indicator right there. It's going to help you read the bottom, help you read your depth and everything else. Okay, a couple of other options. This leader is designed so that it always fishes with this loop-to-loop connected to your line outside the tip of your rod. Okay, so this never binds you up. That's really important that you know that. You may have to shorten this butt section on a shorter rod. You may end up wanting a longer one on a longer rod, but that will get you started. Any rod from 9 to 11 feet, you could get started there. As you get a little bit better at this, what I've been doing is I've been taking 30 or 20 pound maxima. 20 is a little bit fine, but I take about 20 feet of 30 pound maxima so that I'm totally eliminating this connection from being in my rod. That's one other option, and then you can tie it up to your sighter. So I will take 20 feet of this. I'm not using my fly line. I don't think that leader flies in competition, just so you know, but it works for me just out there trying to catch some trout. My sighter system, as you kind of customize your own rig, I tie mine up in two-tone. I use mine as a little bit more of a dipstick, so if I dip my sighter into a really deep bucket, which I'm told is bad by Curtis, I'll dip it in, and then I can see when I'm nearing the end of my leader. So I like the two-tone, the orange and chartreuse. You can rig it up however you want once you get started. And this stuff isn't really that hard to tie up. You tie it up once, and you could literally use a leader like this for a season. You don't need to be doing this all the time. So get one of those and you can replicate it. Additionally, I carry just a little package of this Dacron Backing with me. I recommend 20-pound Dacron Backing. Steal some off the back of your fly reel if you need to. If you want to buy a 100-yard spool from Red's and have a lifetime supply, It's great. It's handy for all sorts of stuff. I have repaired a lot of junk with backing out of my kit bag over the years. Super strong. So that's going to go down to your tippet ring. Now from the tippet ring down, you're going to use, you can use any kind of leader you want as long as it's Rio Floraflex Plus from Red's Fly Shop. Order online, free shipping over 50 bucks. But seriously, I run basically 3, 4, and 5X most of the time. Occasionally when I'm pitching a stonefly nymph, and I don't throw stonefly nymphs that much on my Euro rig. I can explain why in another video, but I do better when I can pick stuff apart really meticulously with little smaller flies. My cover gets blown with that stone nymph, dude. I mess up the first drift and every fish in the pool saw it. I can stay in dark cover longer with my small flies. But I'm going to run 3X to my anchor fly most of the time, and then 4 or 5X to my trailer fly. So that's your basic Euro nymphing leader system. That's how we fish it at Red's. And there's lots of other ideas and options out there, but if you're just getting started, that's a great way to go.